There's not much left of what we used to call our world. Amazing chance. See that plastic scrap over there? Just what you were looking for. Bang Shelter 9I, a perfect place to hole up, courtesy of the Toxanol Corporation. Tap hard, itchy trigger finger. Worrying to have tons of rock and soil above you. That's hard to come by. You need to line up the switches so they match. That's enough electric current to initiate the actuators and activate the framework. Give it a little kick. Always good to have some wood scrap like that on hand. You've reached the end of the line. Bet you can find Choo-Choo here.
Pasado conto pa.
Let's see. so much easier to see all the colors during the day. Disgusting. Biohazard. Just gross. Wheel the control box handles to buzz the wire. Wired up and ready to go. Looks cute. Glad you covered that up. You need to swivel the Globuses' bearings. Could be a pretty sky tonight. The night could be fun. Bet you could make something shiny out of that metal. Ooh, a biohazard like that can make you real sick. Choo-Choo knew you would make it to him one day. All you had to do was follow the steel path. The rails might be getting rusty, but eventually they all converge on him. Claims rails are like rules. If you follow them the way you're supposed to, everything good in life can roll your... Says you followed the rails to where you need to be, but tracks have switches in them too. The question is then, will you keep on the same track, or look for a way to hit that switch? You seem like you're on the right track already. He just hopes you don't get sidetracked onto a darker path. Whichever way you go, he wants you to know that the rails never steer you wrong. Stick to them, and they always bring you right to where you're meant to be. Wants to know if you've ever regretted taking one track in life instead of another. If you could go back, would you switch track? Likes your sureness, the way you keep at it like a chug-chug with no way to revert. Seems like the world came out of its rut and is chugging toward higher ground again. Can't thank you enough for hitting the brakes and working to turn the world chug around. But let's not get derailed. Says he's surprised to see anyone this far out, but sometimes the wrong train does take you to the right station. As you can see, he didn't plan to make a stop here, but now that he had to, he's really happy to see you. He says his name is Choo-Choo. He's been off track since the world started dying, but he's trained his mind to stay positive regardless of the situation. Says sometimes life runs off the rails, but it's always better when they're good and greased. Figures things must be bad if you're out in the dark like this. So grateful that you're building things up instead of knocking them down. Says... Don't relax. Everyone else around here won't. You stumbled on the watchout. You should be able to find Nova up there next to the cloud somewhere. Seems happy to have spotted you. It's hard to peer through the pollution around here, but she spends most of her time squinting at the sky anyhow, looking for twinkles. Says they're lights in the sky that blink on and off. She wonders what you're going to do with all the power you've been building up. Are you going to clear the skies or set them on fire? She thinks you'd like to see the smog clouds part and reveal the twinkles in the sky. Just think how beauty-filled that would be. When she finds a twinkle, she likes to think it means that we're not so alone, that somewhere out there, even if everything ends here, other worlds might go on. Nova wonders if you've ever looked at the twinkles and wondered if you, like them, move in patterns that never change, locked into that nighttime dance. Or can you break yourself free? Says the twinkles seem to run on rails across the sky. Maybe you do the same down here. Figures if the twinkles spin on, the world should spin with them. And so it will.
Nini Malik.
Says you always try to make things shine brighter, and she loves that.
Lupatu.
Likes how you shine alongside the myriad. They're so bright and colourful they almost blind the twinkles away.
Okay.
Thinks not enough things try to outdo the twinkles these days. Says when she talks to you, she gets twinkles in her eyes. She wonders if you're a dreamer too. Says her dream is in the stars. Her parents even named her the girl with stars in her eyes. Nova. Nova says her mum was a rock star and she never got anything from her. But when the stars shone, so did she, realizing who she really was, a being of night.
No.
But now, she says, her head's stuck in the clouds. In some places, the pollution's so thick nothing can break through, not even her telescope.
Okay.
Someone who makes music, but not with rocks. Not what you'd think at all.
Zaki Lapa.
Nova says she spotted a twinkle when the night sky was clear. Her father's research claims that a single shard from a twinkle has amplifying qualities. She's convinced that a twinkle shard would boost her long eye so she'd be able to see the stars every night. She wonders if you could keep an eye on the night sky for her.
Zaki Lapa.
There's a twinkle that broke through the atmosphere already, so it's not long until it'll hit the ground. When it does, she wants you to crack her a shard from it and bring it back here. Wishes you wouldn't do that. Thinks the shard wouldn't be... Let's see. Probably a lot of things buried out here. The atmosphere is burning in streaks. Heads up! That's a crossway up ahead, like a question waiting for an answer. Nothing beats the darkness. Handy. Looks like some solid wood scrap there. Yes, some e-waste for you. Nothing is dry anymore. A smart foe would leave. A monster snoozes hereabouts. There's so much more to see now. If you can adjust the shards, you should be able to crack open that Twinkle and pull them out. You found a fallen Twinkle. That worked. Look at those shards twinkle. That ain't bad. Nova says it was you the stars shone upon. You have a bond with them too, otherwise they'd never have guided you to the Twinkle Fall site. She says you'll play a bigger role in this than you think. It's written in the stars.
No.
You should start with putting the Twinkle shard in the Long Eye. She thinks the shard will be able to amplify the Long Eye so that it's strong enough to see through the pollution fog. Knew you'd appreciate the beauty of the sky. It puts Nova says she's like the stars watching you at night. Understands you have things. Just move it around until you spy a Twinkle tumbling from the sky. Turn that the right way. Turned out great. Nailed that.
Lama.
Nova knows for sure that amplifying the long eye would have made her father proud.
Lupati-patu.
Nova says she has a stash of peculiar objects from the old world her father left her when he abandoned the planetarium.
Ka?
She's not interested in any of that junk. It just brings back memories of a world that's gone.
Fuko.
You'd be doing her a favor if you took some of it with you.
Lava kegabate.
Says she's just glad to have them gone so she can stop tripping over them while she's watching the sky.
Gukaruk.
Nova says you should keep your eye.
Opaso fukuk.
Seems surprised you have to go. Such a treasure. Everything seems to take longer at night. That hurt 'em. Blasting him. That's sure to be useful. Bang Shelter 10E. Toxinol put these all over the place. What do you think of this place? Any kind of protection, you take it. Heads up. At least you got something for your trouble. You could be a secret here forever. Feels like water in the air. Good work finding a fixer-upper like that. Maybe still savable. Hey, there's some scronky metal scrap for you. You need to give the tensioners a matching adjustment. That sounds delicious. You're full of pluck.